Anyway, we have GaHoViper spawning in the bottom left as the orange Protoss for this game. Of course, their deal struck is that the winner of this game gets to be orange in the next game. So for now, in the top right, we have CichMo spawning as the teal Protoss. My personal favorite color for Protoss. I know Sleeper Cells is going to be quite angry at me for not saying that it's pink, but I don't care, Sleeper Cells. Go away. So we do have a PvP finals. This is the finals, by the way. The finals, of course, being a best of 5, so we get to see a minimum of 3 lovely games of PvP.
That is true. And once again, we have the disparity between a Protoss who elects to scout on his 9 pylon and a Protoss who elects to not scout on his 9 pylon. Probably to scout on his gateway around 12 or maybe 13. And noises.
What?
The orange probe deciding to walk by the Zelnaga Watchtower this time, which I believe is one of the first times recently we have seen someone activate a Zelnaga Watchtower casually in passing. It's usually an ordeal, as if they don't want to be seen next to it, like it's some kind of dirty status symbol that they don't want.
That's what CichMo is doing right now. I mean, why not hit that watchtower? It takes like an extra half second. Just, like click at the watchtower, then shift click into their base, and the path is exactly the same. GaHoViper's got a probe in CichMo's main. It looks like he's going to try and sneak a pylon in there. If he's successful, this is amazing.
Sometimes he just kind of hangs out his probe in there so he can walk around in the base after stuff happens where the probe would normally be kicked out. And sometimes, actually, I don't know if we've seen him build a proxy pylon. I think Fox was the only proxy pylon we saw.
Fox was, as I mentioned earlier, was a player who tended to favor the surreptitious tacticianry. However, he did get knocked out without a GG, by the way. That's so rude. Second gas, relatively early second gas going down for CichMo. Probably going to see a robotics facility out of him, and GaHoViper does not have a second gas, so I think it's more likely that we're going to see more gateways out of him.
There's the robo. Right on time.
There is indeed
24. Oh, and GaHoViper. It's as if he knew something weird was going to happen. He walks in there and he sees, there's a robo.
Well, that happens in PvPs a lot of times in mirror matchups. You'll see people, even in lower levels, have their timings actually pretty well dealt with. Like, they understand their timings pretty well because they do them every day. They know when that robo can go down because they're Protoss, so that's when they scout. GaHoViper going for that gas now and opting instead of foregating or robo to get that Twilight Council out. So I'm wondering if we're going to see some Dark Templar, but if he sees that robo, I think that's probably quite inadvisable. I think it's more likely that we're going to see either Blink or Charge. He's kind of losing out another Stalker, and it looks like he's going to have a fairly heavy Stalker composition, so it's more likely that we'll see Charge, or see Blink, rather. Blink can be used to great effect in PvP.
It can also help increase the survivability of Stalkers against Immortals quite well if you let them take, I think, one shot and then warp them, or blink them away. I think they will live more effectively that way, and you can obviously greatly improve the cost efficiency of your Stalkers just against everything. And it's really, really fun to microblink Stalkers.
It really is. Oh, it's so fun.
So if you don't have a good reason to get Blink Stalkers, and you're playing in a team game, do it anyway, because it's a team game, who cares? If you're playing in a 1v1, and you have a strategy that uses Blink Stalkers, though, you're going to probably have some fun and be really cool looking when you do it.
2 more gateways coming out for CichMo, so it looks like we are going to have a 3-gate robo from CichMo, and he is getting a Warp Prism. So we're going to see some interesting Warp Prism play. He's rallying that up and around, all the way around the edge of the map to his opponent's main. It looks like he's going to be trying to warp in behind where GaHoViper doesn't see it, but GaHoViper is putting up a spotter pylon in the back, which is always a good idea. Have spotter pylons all around the base. Blink is now done. The 4th gateway is done. now becoming a warp gate. Looks like GaHoViper is probably getting ready to be aggressive very soon. Otherwise, there's no reason to have gotten those 4 warp gates and blink.
Yep, and we'll see if he starts his journey out with a blink just to look like a baller. But in other news, CichMo building a dark shrine somewhere. We'll see where it is. Where is it?
In the back.
In the back.
In the
right
back
next to his Twilight Council that nobody appeared to have noticed building. So we have Dark Templars coming out against a 4 warp gate blink rush with no robo anywhere to be seen. There's a robo. So those DTs are probably going to come out a little bit too late to do the damage that he would have wanted them to do, assuming that GaHoViper goes for Observer first.
Yeah, there were a lot of zealots out for CichMo. 1 or 2 really good force fields here could totally ruin GaHoViper's day, although Blink can very heavily mitigate force fields, but a good force field from GaHoViper. CichMo saying, no, my Immortal can't do anything. A quick bottom of the ramp force field keeps the Stalkers from being able to blink past it.
Ooh,
finally, these DTs are out. Very interesting. The DTs are out, and it looks like they're probably going to be able to do a lot of damage. There is no detection from GaHoViper yet. He's going to be dismayed to find that his army is going to start getting ransacked, but Dark Templar blinks away, revealing that he does in fact have Blink, and immediately starts getting a Chrono Boost Observer out. So it looks like both players have completely shut down each other's tech paths.
Yup. This pylon in the middle of the map going to stay alive for GaHoViper, however, because CichMo simply has no interest in performing a counterattack at the moment. He wants to wait for, it looks like he wants to wait for some more Immortals and probably warp in a bunch more gateway units, but in order to do that, he's going to have to build some more pylons, because he's getting pretty close to the point where he can't build anything without more pylons. He's also stopped probe production and is chrono boosting something that I cannot find right now.
He's chrono boosting the Immortals out of his robo. He's trying to get more and more robotic facilities or Immortals. However, he is supply blocked, as he mentioned would probably happen since he was almost supply blocked. The Immortals, the Immortal production has stopped. The Dark Templar are out. The Observer is trailing behind this army, though, so the Dark Templar are not going to be able to do a terribly large amount of damage, barely even taking off the health on this pylon, and then immediately getting crushed after one-shotting his Zealot's shields. And it looks like CichMo's pylon blockedness is going to really bite him in the ass. He's got nothing. He's got
nice field at the bottom of the ramp, though. He could... No, he could not
Blink.
use his... Oh.
There it is. Blink to the high ground using the Observer as vision, and it looks like there's absolutely nothing that CichMo can do about it.
Yep. His Immortals getting completely separated from each other, so they're not able to just deal damage. They all take the concentrated firepower of GaHoViper's entire army as they just walk into the base and start killing everything that moves, builds things, or provides power, except for the probes. The probes being the one thing... Oh, that's a very interesting way that the probes all stacked up there on one spot.
Yeah, that'll happen. Force fields do push your units into little clumps. If you had some kind of splash there, that would be really fun. Kind of just waiting for the GG from CichMo at this point. Although there are Dark Templar completely ransacking GaHoViper's main, so it looks like he's going to try and turn it into a base race.
CichMo does have a secret expansion over here on the right that I did not notice going up ever, but it is definitely there now. He's trying desperately to mine enough minerals to build another...
I can't believe I missed that. That's sad. I usually look at the minimap. I play this game. I look at the minimap.
Some of GaHoViper's probes are actually just kind of sitting around in CichMo's base, while the Dark Templars are destroying everything that was once GaHoViper's base. He does not have the money to build another Nexus. He's supply blocked, therefore not going to be able to build anything, even if he had powered production facilities. The only thing that GaHoViper has going for him is the fact that his army is capable of killing the entirety of CichMo's army at this point. So assuming he gets up there within the next 7.5 minutes or so, he's going to be in pretty good shape and on decent track to win this base race.
Yeah. Well, The problem with that is that GaHoViper does have I mean, the problem with CichMo is that GaHoViper does have a bigger army. GaHoViper does spot this hidden expansion, and it looks like he's going to send what he's got left to try and go kill it. And by what he's got left, I mean a lot of shit that he's got from like the beginning, because almost none of it has died.
Yeah, something that CichMo maybe would have wanted to do if he'd planned out to have a base race scenario at this point with Dark Templars and everything would be to make a forge and make a bunch of photon cannons here, and then if the Protoss if GaHoViper had tried to move in with his observer and everything, the observer would have gotten killed, and his Dark Templars would have been able to literally kill anything that was on the ground with impunity.